Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Virtual Sunday School. So today's lesson is called Jesus Heals a Boy. Now, in our world today, we talk a lot about healing. There are a lot of people, unfortunately, who are sick, and we are hoping that they are healed and can live a long and healthy life. So when we talk about healing in our story today, we're not talking about medicine. Jesus heals more than just physical wounds. Jesus heals our hearts and our souls. And so we're going to talk about a story that happened to Jesus right before he and his disciples loaded up and made their way to Jerusalem for the Passover. So there are so many stories that we talk about with Jesus before he is crucified and God makes Jesus alive again, that it's really hard to talk about all of them before we celebrate Easter. So we're celebrating and talking about a story today of healing. So let's go to the Godly Play materials and continue our lesson. All right, so our story starts out here. This is the mountain that we have used in a few different stories. This mountain comes in handy a lot. So this is the Mountain of Transfiguration, which is a different story. So Jesus has just come off the mountain, and he is here with Peter, his disciple, as well as James and John. So Jesus is coming off the mountain with these three disciples, and here are the other disciples waiting for them. So as Jesus is returning, a man who was a father came rapidly running towards Jesus and said, "My son has a spirit. It won't let him speak. It seizes him and throws him down. Your disciples could not cast it out." The dad was so panicked and so worried for his son, and he asked Jesus for such help because he knew that Jesus was his last hope. So as he is sharing his story, Jesus turns to him and says, "Bring the boy to me." So the boy comes, and when the spirit inside the boy saw Jesus, it began to throw the boy around. "How long has he been like this?" Jesus asked. "Since a child," the father said. "The spirit tries to kill him by throwing him into fire or water. Please help us." The boy was moving so rapidly that people were afraid it was going to knock them over. But then Jesus said, "You spirit that keeps this boy from speaking and hearing, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again." The spirit began screaming and terribly tossing the boy. And then the spirit left. But the boy looked dead. "He's dead, he's dead," many cried. But Jesus said to the boy and moved to him and said, "He is not dead." And then Jesus took his hand and lifted him up. And he was able to stand. All were amazed and wondered. Later, Jesus again told his disciples after the boy and father had left. Later, Jesus told his disciples, "We are going to Jerusalem for Passover. I will be killed, but on the third day, God will make me alive again." They did not understand, but with Jesus leading the way, they followed him on the way to Jerusalem. So that was our story today, friends. The thing that's interesting about our story is that we see this boy who has a spirit inside of him and he's being thrashed around. However, we don't see that happening in our world today. So when Jesus was around, the way that spirits took form is just not a thing that happens anymore in our world today. However, there are things that keep us away from paying attention to God. And so There are things that distract us, maybe by watching TV instead of maybe reading your Bible a little bit, not being kind to your family, not obeying your parents or your grandparents of what they've asked of you. There's a lot of different ways that we can be healed, so to speak, by the ways in which we live our life. So we are not going to have a spirit enter into us and take over our bodies like happened to this little boy. That's just not something that happens anymore. However, there are things that make us sad, things that really hurt our heart, things that make us worried, things that make us feel just really bad. And Jesus helps to heal us in that way. Jesus helps to enter into our hearts and help us as we heal. So Jesus doesn't come in and fix us. Jesus comes in and says, I am here with you. Because I'm sure after the boy's spirit left him, he had a lot more healing to do where his body was hurting, probably where his heart had been hurting for the last several years. And Jesus never abandoned him. Jesus was there with him the whole time. And so I love this story because I love that it shows Jesus' compassion for everyone. Jesus didn't know this boy. Jesus didn't know the Father. And yet Jesus was willing to say, yes, I will help you. And Jesus says that to us. Jesus says, yes, I will help you. Now, Jesus isn't going to come in and make your heart automatically go from sad to happy. Jesus is going to come and sit with you as you feel sad and comfort you so that it'll help you to one day feel happy again. And so I really love this story because Jesus heals us in the same way Jesus heals everyone else. And so the craft that we're doing today is so awesome. I am actually going to watch the video now with my son, Logan, and we are going to make the craft for my mother and for my mother-in-law. So these would be Logan's grandparents. So the craft has to do about ways that we can lead by example and try and offer healing to our family members. Now, I don't mean go and heal them like you are a doctor, because that's only something that a doctor or a nurse can do. But what I'm saying is helping people heal their hearts. So there are a lot of people in your life that you probably haven't seen in a while, maybe your grandparents, maybe your aunts and uncles, your cousins, one of your best friends. There's somebody in your life that you just really, really miss. And they probably miss you just as much. So the craft today is a way that we can show love to someone else to help heal their heart from missing us and from feeling lonely. And so we're going to send a hug in the mail to someone. Now, Miss Erin has all the ways to show you how to do it, but she has figured out an awesome way to send someone a hug. So today we're not only going to practice healing with our own hearts, we are going to practice healing and helping to take care of other people. So friends, I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're able to do things to feel the presence of Jesus in your life and feel how Jesus is with you even when you feel sad or you're hurting or just feel like you're in need of some emotional and spiritual healing. All right, friends, have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you all online. Bye.